a tranquil monastery nestled deep within a lush green valley, there lived a wise and revered monk named Master Ryokan. Known for his deep wisdom and serene demeanor, Master Ryokan was sought after by people from all walks of life who came to the monastery seeking guidance and answers to life's challenges. One crisp morning, as the sun's golden rays filtered through the ancient trees surrounding the monastery, a young man named Kenji arrived at the temple gates. His face was etched with worry, and his eyes reflected the storm of negativity that clouded his mind. Life had not been kind to Kenji in recent years. He had lost his job, struggled with failed relationships, and was burdened by the overwhelming pressure of living up to his family's expectations. These experiences had led him down a path of despair, and he could not see any light at the end of his tunnel. Kenji had heard of Master Ryokan's wisdom and decided to seek his counsel, hoping the monk could offer him some peace and clarity. He made his way through the temple gardens, peaceful surroundings, contrasting sharply with the turmoil within him. The sound of a distant waterfall and the chirping of birds filled the air, but Kenji could barely take in the beauty of the place. So consumed was he by his negative thoughts, he finally found Master Ryokan meditating under a large cherry blossom tree, its pink petals gently falling to the ground like soft rain. The monk opened his eyes as Kenji approached and greeted him with a warm smile. "Welcome, young man," Master Ryokan said in a calm voice. "I sense that you carry a heavy burden. How can I assist you?" Kenji bowed respectfully before sitting down on the grass in front of the monk. "Master Ryokan, my life has been filled with misfortune and disappointment," he began, his voice tinged with frustration. "No matter how hard I try, everything seems to go wrong. I'm constantly plagued by negative thoughts, and I don't know how to escape this dark cloud that follows me everywhere. I feel like giving up. Please, can you teach me how to find peace and happiness?" The monk looked at Kenji with compassion in his eyes. "My son," he began, "what you are experiencing is the result of a mind trapped in negative thinking. The way you perceive the world shapes your reality. If you focus only on what is wrong, you will find yourself surrounded by darkness. But if you shift your focus to what is good and positive, you will begin to see the light even in the darkest of times." Kenji looked puzzled. "But how can I think positively when everything around me is falling apart?" he asked. Master Ryokan smiled gently. "Let me share a story with you," he said. "Perhaps it will help you understand." Kenji nodded, eager to hear the monk's tale. Once in a distant village, there lived two brothers, Haruto and Akio. Both brothers worked as farmers, tending to their fields and caring for their families. However, despite their similar circumstances, the two brothers had very different outlooks on life. Haruto, the elder brother, was a pessimist by nature. He often complained about the weather, worried about the crops failing, and fretted over the future. Every small setback was, to him, a sign that disaster was looming. When the rain came, he feared it would turn into a flood. When the sun shone brightly, he worried about drought. His thoughts were filled with doubt and negativity, and as a result, his life was filled with anxiety and stress. Akio, on the other hand, was an optimist. He believed in the power of positive thinking and always looked for the silver lining in every situation. When the rain fell, he welcomed it, knowing it would nourish his crops. When the sun shone, he enjoyed its warmth, confident that it would help his plants grow strong. Even when faced with challenges, Akio remained hopeful, trusting that things would eventually work out for the best. One year, a severe storm hit the village, causing widespread damage. Haruto's fields were flooded, and many of his crops were destroyed. He was devastated and cursed his bad luck, convinced that his life was ruined. He became even more negative, and his health began to suffer as a result of his constant worry and stress. Akio's fields were also affected by the storm, but instead of despairing, he focused on what he could do to salvage his crops. He worked tirelessly to repair the damage, and although he lost some of his harvest, he was able to save enough to provide for his family. His positive attitude gave him the strength and resilience to overcome the challenge, and in time, his fields flourished once again. As the years passed, Haruto's negativity took a toll on his well-being. He grew old before his time, burdened by the weight of his worries. Akio, however, thrived. His positive outlook not only brought him success in his farming endeavors, but also brought him joy and contentment in all aspects of his life. One day, as the two brothers sat together, Naruto looked at Akio and asked, "How is it that you are always so happy, despite the hardships we face? Why does everything seem to go well for you while I am constantly beset by problems?" Akio smiled and replied, "Brother, it is not that I face fewer challenges than you, but that I choose to see them different. I have learned that life is like a garden. If you plant seeds of positivity and nurture them with hope and gratitude, they will grow into a beautiful harvest. But if you sow seeds of negativity and water them with fear and doubt, you will reap only sorrow and despair." Naruto was silent for a moment, reflecting on his brother's words. He realized that his own negative thinking had created the very problems he feared. From that day forward, he made a conscious effort to change his mindset, though it was difficult at first. Over time, Naruto learned to focus on the positive aspects of his life, and as he did, his life began to change for the better. He found peace, joy, and fulfillment that he had never known before. Master Ryokan paused, allowing Kenji to absorb the lesson of the story. "You see, Kenji?" the monk asked gently. "Your thoughts are powerful. They can either lift you up or drag you down. Positive thinking is not about ignoring the challenges you face, but about approaching them with a mindset that allows you to see possibilities rather than obstacles. It is about choosing to focus on what you can do, rather than what you cannot." Kenji sat in silence, contemplating the monk's words. He realized that his own negative thinking had been a barrier to his happiness and success. He had been so focused on his problems that he had failed to see the opportunities around him. For the first time in a long while, he felt a glimmer of hope. "But Master Ryokan," Kenji said after a moment, "how can I train my mind to think positively when I've been trapped in negativity for so long?" The monk smiled warmly. "It begins with small steps, Kenji," he said. "Start by practicing gratitude. Each day, take a moment to reflect on the things in your life that you are thankful for, no matter how small. This will shift your focus from what is lacking to what is abundant. Next, be mindful of your thoughts. When you catch yourself thinking negatively, gently redirect your mind to something positive. It will take time and effort, but with practice, you can transform your thinking." Kenji nodded, feeling a sense of determination he hadn't felt in years. "Thank you, Master Ryokan," he said, bowing deeply. "I will do my best to follow your guidance." The monk placed a reassuring hand on Kenji's shoulder. "Remember, my son," he said, "positive thinking is a powerful tool, but it is also a choice. Each day, you have the choice to see the world through the lens of positivity or negativity. Choose wisely, and your life will reflect the beauty of your thoughts." With a heart full of hope and a mind ready for change, Kenji left the monastery that day, determined to cultivate the garden of his mind with seeds of positivity. And as he did, he discovered that the world was indeed a brighter, more beautiful place than he had ever imagined.